Hey, reporting entity team. This is Dom. It's Friday, about 11:21. Um, I wanted to get back to you with a revised draft, um, taking into consideration the internal reviews done by Melissa Batchelor, Alan Perry, and Brian Robinson, as well as incorporating what the Lisa's team has done. So I prepared a streamlined document, okay? And I've sent it to you, or it will be sent once I get this video out to you. And first of all, I just want to say that I appreciate all the work that you've done. Dr. Baker, Eddie Joe, Maribel, Bruce, Paul, Angela, Debbie, and Brandy. Now, what I'd like for you to do in this document, don't review the whole thing. Look at it. Provide comments only on these pages, okay? Because otherwise, I'll never be able to finish this, or I'll just have to do it myself, and I don't want to do that. I want this to be a consolidated work process or work product through a consolidated process. So you may wish to select someone, okay, like Brandy, for example, who would be your scribe, or Dr. Baker, someone who would compile your comments into one email document back to me. Okay, so I can easily incorporate changes into a master document. First thing I want to do is focus you on page 10. Page 10 is the introduction. Since we've gotten rid of the illustrations, you're going to see we're only really addressing two implementation challenges. The way it's working out. That is, all the risk stuff is being basically pushed off into the illustrations as part of a training and outreach and educational thing. That's what I would recommend the board doing. I don't even think we should put it out as an appendix, because I think it's going to be very difficult for the exposure draft for the community to respond to these case studies, and I really don't think that's the way to go. But I do think they're valuable for training and education. So the TR, you'll see, we put it on a pretty much stringent diet here, and the TR's lost some, needed weight. We're identifying two challenges. Reporting entities and leases will be grouped as one challenge. You'll see it in the matrix on page 10. And identifying P3 risk in some common arrangements or transactions. The Q&A. I give a brief description, and I reference within the TR the paragraphs that address those challenges, okay? So please just take a look at that. Don't wordsmith this to death, please. But let me know if you think we've sufficiently addressed those challenges in the aforementioned paragraphs, or if there are other challenges we've possibly addressed, or if you think we haven't addressed, or if we think the challenges need to be reworded. That's fine, but please run it through one of you on the team who would care to take the leadership position. I call scribe, not to demean the position, but I'm a scribe, so hey, if I can scribe, you could scribe, right? So page 10. Then specifically, I want you to look at pages 12 through 13, where we have redone the Q&A, okay? I've taken into consideration, and you'll see the bubble comment notes from the internal review done by Ms. Batchelor, wherever we did agree. I've incorporated edits and suggestions there. You'll see we have the questions, and I believe, for example, the one question, which is the first question, we decided to focus on the fact that it is a private entity. So the question reads, if a private entity is consolidated and thus treated as being part of the overall reporting entity's operation, does 47 apply? We voted to keep this in, to simplify it and emphasize private, so I threw in the word private. Now, if you put this in track changes mode, you'll see it. Please, I recommend reading it in the simple markup mode. It'll be a lot easier for you, okay? We've decided to keep this question in primarily because it does apply to at least one of the agencies. The next question, which you'll see on page 10, basically was just some cleanup work. The internal reviewer noted there's no parent-child. Although I understand where you were going with it, it for me, it would have been okay. But you got different eyes looking at it and different suggestions. So, although we decided to remove it, I would like for you to reconsider it to see if it's valuable. Actually, no. I think the only thing we decided to remove was the parent-child. I think we decided to keep the question in. So, take a look at it. Again, we're not wordsmithing this stuff at this point unless it's a substantive change, okay, that adds to the answer. Then we go to page 13, is it? And the next question, does SFAS 49 apply if a related party arrangement transaction is reported pursuant to 47? Let's see here. Debbie suggested we change the title. Paul also said that we should rephrase the question. I think I did. And let me just see. I'll maybe change the markup mode. Bear with me, folks. Yeah, I think I changed it. I can't really see it on this markup copy, but the one I sent you from Melissa Batchelor's review should show it. I tried to reword it, okay? Debbie, Paul, would you mind taking a look at that in particular, because you felt that we could reword that question? Pretty much what is the difference between a disclosure entity and a related party? We agreed. 47 is vague. Melissa wants to keep it that way. From what I can tell, she has a different philosophy. That's fine. And as Bruce said, I could iron out with her, but nope, that's not my job. It'll be the board. They will determine whether or not 47 should be clarified. All we can do is kind of point back to it without stepping on anyone's toes, right? Okay, so that question, then we go to the other question, D here. If you have a P3 arrangement transaction that meets 47 inclusion or is deemed a related party, which 49 disclosures apply? I think we were okay with that. So Maribel suggested, was this the one where we suggested to refer to standard 49? I think we do. But Maribel, you might want to take a look at that question. Okay. The next question was, how do I assess the ability to exercise significant influence over a P3 to ascertain if 47 requirements for a related party have been met? Joseph, you had comments here. I don't even know if we want to really keep this question in. I can't remember. Melissa mentioned that it was confusing. Let's see, what was her? It appears the question should focus on application of 49. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this one we have to take another look at. So Joseph, would you mind, and the rest of you can look at it too. I guess the issue here is, why are we assessing significant influence under 49? We really don't have to. So this question should probably be deleted, right? But I want your opinion, okay? So once you get through looking at the challenges in the intersection and you get through these questions, please then turn to the flowchart on page 20. It begins on page 20. I have a very simple tee-up to the flowchart. Not a whole lot of write-up. It's an appendix. It's not mandatory guidance. And I use a 4-step process. 1, we begin by identifying the arrangements or transactions that might be P3s, right? That's how the flowchart, I think, reads. We determine if 47 first applies. We look at it through the prism of the reporting entity. Then after that, through the prism of 54 leases, and then last we harmonize disclosures. Then if you go to page 21, I present the illustration of the flowchart. Take another look at it, see if we think there needs to be any more tweaks. I kind of think it's good the way it is. I really do. Only because I'm like tired of looking at it probably. But anyhow, reporting entity team, thank you. I wanted to keep this as brief as possible. I will send the video and the document out as soon as I get this all processed, okay? Have a great 3-day weekend. It's President's Day, I mean, I won't say anything. I like apple pie though, I'll tell you that, okay? So, listen, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy. Bye-bye.